Hello, we're back again. This time I have checked to make sure that OBS is recording my voice. So this time you can hear me along with seeing what I'm doing. That'll be a nice change. Right, let's get started again. This is the same client that I've been working on for the past little while. They've kept sending me some new people. It's a really great gig if you can get into where you can work out a deal with companies and shoot all their people, and as they get new people coming into the company, they just keep sending them over to you to get a headshot done. So go churn. Go turnover. Let's get this one set up, get our frequency separation layers going. I've got my actions set up there. I'm just gonna hit OK on these dialogues, and we're gonna get our detail layer going. Perfect. Here we go. Ready to go. Another younger age subject, so not that much going to be going on. We are going to get rid of these lights up here to start with. So let me grab my mixer brush on my color layer. My flow is up, so I'm just going to brush that color out of the way. Awesome. Let's brush this side. We're just getting rid of all of this color that we don't want there. All right, let's kick our solar layer on just so we can see. Yeah, we don't really have any remnants kicking around, so that's good. Solar is off. All right, what are we going to tackle first in the texture area? Okay, so we'll grab our stamp tool. Just going to soften the edge a little bit. Not too much. You don't want to have a completely soft edge on a stamp layer because it just kind of looks... you can actually start to see the ring around where it's only partially covered stuff up. So just a slight feather on that edge. Just getting rid of these little spots. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, when you're cloning, when you're stamping an area, make sure that you're copying from the same focal, what am I going to say here? The depth of field. Watch for the depth of field. So copy the source from an in focus area to cover up an in focus area. Copy from an out of focus area to cover up an out of focus area. Don't try to do the other way around because it won't work. Let's just get these little bumps in here. Get rid of this little bit of redness. We're going to get that with the color layer as well. Little spot there. A couple of spots. Little spot on the lip. We'll get rid of those. I do believe that this was shot around F4 or 5, somewhere around there. I like some depth of field, but I don't want to go too bonkers with it. Yeah, 1.4 lenses are great and all, but a much greater chance of actually missing the shot. So you'll notice the tip of her nose is out, but the eyes are in, and that's the most important part in my opinion. Let's get the mascara on the eyelashes here. Can I get in here? Get those guys. Clean up. Go. And get these little spots. Looks like this eye is a little soft, actually. Not that bad when you're out this far, but I've seen sharper eyes before. I don't know. Here's hoping that Nikon actually starts working on their autofocus more and updates. The Z series I really do like the fact that it does, you know, the eye lock focus if it would actually lock on the eye. Now, whether or not this is actually a shortcoming of the lens that I'm using, the Sigma 105, I'm not sure, but I have done the AF fine tune in the camera, in the body. I know Sigma does have that Sigma dock for the lenses, and I do have one, but honestly, can't imagine trying to calibrate the focus on a lens using the dock, because you have to take it off the dock, put it on the camera, take a shot, figure what the change is, take it off the camera, put it on the dock, load up the software, make the change, push the config in, take the lens off of the dock, put it back on the camera, take another shot, and see if it actually worked, and just keep doing that over and over and over again. Off, on, off, on, off. It's like, it's enough of a pain in the butt when you're doing it inside of the camera, because I've gone, you know, backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards again. It takes a while for it to get it right, and even then I found that it actually drifts. I've had it like this is I've had it set and like this is good, okay, it's sharp, it's good, and then, you know, I take 5 consecutive shots afterwards, and nope, they all kind of drift. They're all different. I think one of the real things you have to keep in mind when you're doing those micro focus adjustments inside the camera body is that after you hit focus on the spot and you take a shot, when you make a change to the config, manually rack the focus so that it's completely out of focus, and then have the AF focus on that point again. Don't just leave it at the same focus point. Make the camera go and seek and find it again. Yeah, I've had it so it's like, yeah, okay, this is good, and then I do 5 shots, and all 5 shots are different. So it's a little frustrating. So we've gotten the detail on that hair up here. This is my mixer brush on the color layer. I'm just going to blur up that kind of shadow that the color from the strands of hair left behind. I'm going to fix this bunch of hair in here. You haven't seen that yet, because the first video I did where I actually did the hair restoration, the video didn't work. Again, OBS to ruin my day. Actually, it wasn't OBS that ruined my day. I ruined my own day, in that you can put hotkeys inside of OBS for different scenes. And I was using an old profile that I used with a client when they were doing some live streams. And I went and changed, I don't know what it was, the flow on my brush or something or other, but it required me to tap key that I had assigned to change scenes. And I ended up with 3/4 of the video was actually like a tomato sauce recipe on screen. Didn't even record my voice. So anyway, it was that retouch that I actually did hair restoration. I like to clean up some of these kinds of strands that are coming down, but then you can't leave it like this, because it sticks out like a sore thumb, like who has hair that ends up like that. So this is what we do. We rotate it so that our hand, you know, you can kind of swipe easier this way than you can over like this way. So rotate the canvas so that I can, you know, just use my wrist to swipe. This RT layer is, I don't know why it's called RT, but the script that I got just said RT and I just call it retouch. So, okay, this is my retouch layer. I'm just going to grab a regular brush. I'm going to sample the color of her hair. I am going to make the brush, I do believe it was around 3 pixels. The hardness is going to be 100%. 3 pixels, 100%. And I am going to put smoothing on at around 75%. Now, yeah. So I had the adjust, catch up, and stroke catch up. Keep those on and just do some tests and see how things work. And lo and behold, they kind of look like hairs. Now, the one thing you got to keep in mind, you got to up the smoothing a bit. The one thing you got to keep in mind when you're kind of drawing in hairs is when you have the catch up on, whenever you let go, it's going to just zap to it. So you kind of have to keep your pen down. So that it doesn't kind of end when you don't want it to, kind of thing, right? See, I didn't hold it down too much there. And another thing that you could do as well is in the shape dynamics, if we turn this on and we say minimum diameter is going to be 0 and it's going to be pen pressure, it should start at 3, and then when you let go, it's supposed to, how did I have that set now? Catch up and stroke end. Example that we have here. What pen pressure? Minimum diameter is, let's say it's 1%. Don't want the angle jitter or anything like that, but what we do want is we want it to taper off at the end. See, that's got a very, very slight taper to it at the end. It's kind of hard to see, but it is, or is it? Am I seeing things? Explanation. Times I had this set up. I had all my preferences and then I lost them all. So you set something up ages ago, and then and then you lose everything, and you're like, how did I set that up? Did I have transfer? What was transfer? Let's turn shape dynamics. I had it at one point where this and see if this is going to do it. See, that's not doing it. Why is it not doing it? Something about my that exclamation point is concerning. What does that mean? Control by pen pressure requires the use of a pressure sensitive. I have a Wacom tablet. It is pressure sensitive. So that's why this is not working. What it's supposed to do is, as I let up on the pressure, it's supposed to come to more of a point. Because if you look at actual hairs, here's a good example here. So it's thicker, and at the end, it comes to a very, very fine point, and that's what we're trying to recreate. But for some unknown reason, Photoshop doesn't think that I have a pressure control tablet, which is very weird. Let me check. What can I check? So settings, pen properties. Let's see, tilts, pen. Okay. Press the pen tip. So I've got pressure for some reason. So let's ask Google. Google knows everything, don't they? So Photoshop, Wacom. Pen pressure not working. Interesting. Look at this. Okay. PS user config txt with the text. Use WinTab. Use system stylus 0. Okay. Well, let's see. Update. With 21.2.2, you may need to remove the PS user config txt file with the latest versions. Our designers work with Windows Inc. and Adobe have made improvements in that area. Many of the old bugs have been addressed. I have used Windows Inc. for a year. Remove the PS user config text file and in Wacom tablet properties, check Windows Inc. Oh, well, let's try doing that and see if that works. There's the Windows Inc. Okay. And I wonder if I have to restart. I may have to restart Photoshop in order for that to work. Let's save this. And we'll restart Photoshop. I don't know about getting rid of that PS user config file, because that is where a lot of interesting. So that file doesn't work. Oh, okay, hang on a second. This is going to start anytime soon. Photoshop. Okay, so I want to go to there. There it was app data, roaming, Adobe Photoshop 2021. Settings. And what was it called? PSU. Okay, so that's interesting. The PS user config.txt is no longer there. So let's see what's going to happen now. It still doesn't think I have pen pressure. Plot thickens. How to fix Windows pen pressure not working again. Your Windows user and your stylus pressure sensitivity isn't working correctly or not working at all. Restarting Windows Inc. proves to be a reliable solution for many users. This is a common problem for Wacom users. All you have to do is follow some simple steps. Okay, exit Photoshop, search Wacom, well, it's there, right? Drawing is many of his applications, okay. All, yes. It is there. This supports press and hold to right click, flicks and ripple. It is under the mapping. Well, let's try this. Pressure compatibility. No, let's not do that right yet. Pull the nib out and place it back on the stylus. Exclamation mark warning sign. Interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see what that says. Sorry, you guys didn't read what I was reading. So they're saying, yeah, pull the nib out of the tip of the pen. Out of this. See if that does anything. God, I can't get my finger in here to get this thing out. There we go. Okay, so we've got our nib gripper. Let me open this file again and just see if it's still showing me the same thing. It's still showing me the same thing. So let's pull the nib. What do you know? Look at that. We pulled the nib out of the tip and we pushed it back in, and voila. Somehow it's like these nibs have some kind of special, I don't know, special thing going on with them that tell the pen, pencil or whatever, stylus, that it's pressure sensitive. Oh, mind blown, mind blown. Let's rotate this around so we can access it, and let's see if it's actually going to do. It's back again. Oh, now it's gone. Very weird. This is very weird. There we go. You see that? See how it. Now we can drop this, drop it down to 0, and that should make it a bit better. Yeah, see, there we go. Now, if we drop our pen down to 3, and get the right color, because right now the color sucks. What is going on? Oh, flow is at 50%. That's why. Oh, I like this color better. Yeah, see that tip on the end? We finally figured it out. We finally got it working. Okay. Now, and I was drawing on that layer the whole time. Go back up to there, go back up to this layer. We are going to Control A that layer and delete, and then nothing happens. Why is that? What is this layer on? Don't tell me that I was drawing on the wrong layer the whole time. Okay, yeah, I was drawing on that layer. Crap, now I got to do the hair cleaning again. That sucks, but oh well. We're gonna take. I'm gonna actually demonstrate now what having the high medium down below allows you to do. So I've got a lasso tool. I've selected that lower high median. I'm just going to draw a circle around this whole thing like that. I'm going to take this, I'm going to say Control J. I'm then going to throw it up above on top here, and I'm going to set the blend mode just to normal. I'm going to take these two layers, I'm going to merge them together, and then I'm going to clip, and I'm back to the original. Just like that. Now, let's fix our rotate. And who is that guy on? Oh, okay, that was part of the circle. Okay, never mind. I know what I'm doing now. I've sorted it out. I just gotta do these bits here. Get rid of these. Right. Now we've already done the color layer on this, so that's why the color isn't smudging like it did last time. Just gonna get a little sledgehammer-ish in here. Just get rid of all of that stuff in there. Oh, I got to do some color work inside of here. I've already done it down this spot. All right, so I'm going to keep this line of hair in. I am going kind of quick and dirty with it because I know that I am going to cover back up. I'm going to fix it with the hair restoration step that I'm going to do, which is going to obfuscate. There's our $10 word for the day. The touch-up work that I just did on this area, so you're not going to be able to see that. Okay, so very, very rough. These little tiny hairs kicking around in here. Let's touch up the color that's going on here. Hard to brush up a bit. I just want to lighten that. This area. Go. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, so now we can do our rotate and bring it around. I'm going to zoom out a bit because it's best if you can see a bit more that's going on. We grab our brush. We are currently sitting pen pressure 0%. Brush tip is 3 pixels, what we want. We've got our darker color. Smoothing 7%, flow is 100. Okay, so let's give this a shot now, shall we? Bring the hair down, and we're just gonna draw this stuff in. One strand at a time. You can get really, I guess, in depth with doing this kind of stuff and customizing your brush. And that you can take like 2 different color samples. Like we can take another lighter sample. And yeah, right about there. Okay. Now, these 2 samples here, we can do color dynamics, and we can say foreground, background jitter, 24%. Control is off. I don't want any kind of control. I just want it to kind of do its own thing. And that is per tip. So every stroke that you make, it's going to shift the color between the foreground and the background. So that will kind of vary the tones that show up as you're drawing. I don't know if you can kind of see. Oh, if I got this wrong, I've got it wrong. That's not jittering the way I want it to jitter. Let's back this up. How did we do that now? Foreground, background jitter. Apply per tip. I'm pretty sure that was it. Let's zoom in. Okay, so turn the tip off, the per tip. Yeah, turn off per tip, and it's going to, it'll do what I said it was going to do. Grab the eraser tool. The one tool that is most never used in Photoshop. Looks like I still got some of those thingies in there, so let's just back up. I guess I could have done that, couldn't I? For the history. That's good enough. How's this looking so far? Now, you might kind of look at this and say, I can tell you totally drew that in. Well, that's because we do this. We take our blur brush, our blur tool or whatever. Just give it a couple of brushes with that. And that looks kind of normal to me. Like it's better than what was there beforehand. And it just covers up. Like that's a mess. That's at least kind of straightened out, right? And it's like I always say, unless somebody actually points a laser beam at it and says, here, look at this, I don't like this, then nobody is going to notice that. To me, that looks a heck of a lot better. I hope you agree. So, let's move on. Let's see what other textures I got to take care of. I did replace some on the forehead here, so I think there are some things that I have to redo because we lost them. Let's get rid of some of the bumps in here. Just the uneven bumps kind of thing, right? We've got some shine in here that we have to take care of. That's going to be done on the color layer. That's not bad, okay. A little freckle up there. Let's see. Okay, we got some pores down here that we can take care of. Get rid of these guys. And I think I lost my background tunes. I can't put the same music I'm listening to on this because I get hit with copyright strikes. Pain in the butt. So what I will do is I will put the link to the playlist or the video on YouTube that I had in the background. It's pretty cool stuff. I think I pointed out Bloom, the channel Bloom. All the channel is somebody just puts together like a playlist of stuff like music for studying and stuff like that. Sometimes I get so zoned out. This is a bit of a challenge for me because, like I said, I get zoned out and now I actually have to talk the whole time while I'm doing this. These little hairs, I'm not going to worry about those. I am going to worry about some of the flyaway hairs we've got going on here, like these guys in here. So let's see what we've got. Is the solar going to help us out? A little bit. Let me do the color layer first on this and see. That's going to take care of a good chunk of it, really. So the rest that's staying there is just all on the texture layer. Let's see these guys. They're okay. I want to get rid of that. Get rid of these. Come over on this side. That's not too bad. Let's turn the solar off and see what we're dealing with. See, I do have some here, and they weren't showing up when I solarized this thing, so stamp to the rescue. I've already kind of rubbed all this with the mixer brush, right? So it's got rid of the base color stuff. All the rest of it is all just detail info. I hit this stuff with it though. I'm sorry if you guys can't see this in YouTube. I know it may get washed out. It is pretty subtle. The detail that I'm hitting right here. Like I can hardly see that it's there, but I do know it's there, and that bugs me. So I get rid of it. Stamp tool. Stamp those guys, stamp that one. Stamp that stuff. There's a hot pixel. Nikon. The hot pixels are coming up on the Z7 II way too soon. Been hardly using this camera since I got it, and now that I am using it, I'm seeing these hot pixels everywhere. Anybody else shooting with a Nikon? One of these Z series, even the first generation? Have you noticed that you've got a lot of hot pixels or stuck pixels? Do let us know in the comments. Okay, this going to be on the color layer and be sharpened up. There we go. Let's got rid of that. It actually, I've got a light here shining on me so you guys can actually see my ugly mug. It actually makes it a little difficult to see what it is I'm working on. So I don't know. I may or may not turn my camera off. Who knows, that might up my viewer count if you don't see my face. Necklines, we are going to get rid of these. Stamp tool. Let's just draw out the texture first. This is pretty much all out of focus anyway, so basic skin texture, out of focus skin texture is all we really need in this area. Okay, so let's just kind of merge together or soften the gradation between those two. A little redness there too. Can bring up some of the other shadow that was there to help get rid of that. There we go. Let's zoom it out. Before and after on that. It's not bad. Okay, shine time. Let's get rid of this shine, right? We get our mixer brush tool again. Don't want to get rid of it completely because it will change the shape of her forehead. But I do want to just bring down the tone and smooth out the gradations between these. There we go. We can bring some lightness up underneath the eye so she doesn't look as tired. And we can kind of reshape the nose a little bit just by softening that bridge. There we go. Before and after. That's pretty cool. Okay. What else? What else? Like I said, this is kind of an easy one. Not too much going on here. I think it's time for us to move on. We want to keep that little hair layer in there this time. We're going to get rid of the solar. Let us run our D&B on this. I don't believe I'm going to need those two, but I'll keep them just for now. Zoom in, brush at 10%, white on the mask, and we're just going to give it a little kick. Oh, I've got my pencil. I don't want the pencil, we want a brush. Smoothing, we don't need smoothing. Flow is going to be 10%. Soften it a bit. It wasn't doing anything. It seemed to still not be doing anything. Or my layer, no, that's gone. No, it is going, it is going. Bring those lights a little closer together. and then eyebrows. Go a little. So subtle. Ever so subtle. Okay. Right around there. So I got to figure out this. Oh, I think that was that right click thing. There were some other settings in here. Pen properties. Options. Hover click. No. That's not it. Was that there's a hold and click thing. I got to figure out how to fix that, because that's a pain in the butt. Where you hold your mouse down, it does that weight thing. I'll search another day for that. But it drives you nuts when you're trying to drag this. When you click and hold, you get this. You have to double click, like double tap with a pen, in order for it to actually work as a slider. Anywho, okay, that's cool. There's these two. Let's get rid of these two layers because we don't need those. What else are we gonna do on this one? I think that's pretty much it. We'll take these two. We will smart object it. And then we're going to get our sharpening on it. We're going to get our vignette on it. And then we're going to get our raw grain layer on it as well. There we go. Finally. I was about to go and get a tea or something. Our sharpen layer. That is an external. Well, it kind of does like a smart object. It creates the overlay layer and then puts a black mask on it. There's our smart object it's creating. Does the surface blur, brings it back in, and then rasterizes the layer with a black mask so that we can take our brush and we can go 50%. 50% flow. And I just want to kick the eyes a bit. I'm going to kick the eyebrows a bit. We'll give this bit of hair a little bit of love. And I think that's about it, really. I don't really need to do too much else to this. F8 is my shortcut to my vignette, which I can then drag to the center behind her head. And there we go. Done. This one's finished in the books. And I got more to do, so I might as well go and get that one started. So tune in to the next one where we're going to do more of the same, and I might have some more challenges to try and solve. See you in a bit.